That hypothalamus relation with that pituitary gland. So first of all, let me say pituitary gland is having two portions. Let us recognize the two portions here, adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Let me show you the two portions here first of all. So what color we use? Let's take blue to understand. This is the adenohypophysis with the blue margin which I am showing, that is adenohypophysis. Okay. So then uh, neurohypophysis. Let us try to recognize the neurohypophysis. This is neurohypophysis. Okay. With the black margin I am showing. So let's talk about first of all adenohypophysis. Adenohypophysis. What adenohypophysis? Relation with that hypothalamus. Adenohypophysis is going to release so many hormones. The hormones released from the adenohypophysis are TSH, ACTH, GH, whatever that GTH, whatever these hormones actually released from adenohypophysis. Okay, so from this particular area. So the stimulation actually they are getting from hypothalamic neuron. For example, if you take TSH, that means that hypothalamic neurons are releasing a hormone called TSH-RH. That a hormone called TSH-RH. I think I should change the color. TSH-RH. The TSH-RH released from the hypothalamic neuron reaches to the capillaries and of hypothalamus, then to the blood vessel and released into the adenohypophysis, stimulate the pituitary gland for the secretion of TSH. Okay. Where this TSH goes, the TSH will go to the thyroid gland and that make the stimulation of thyroid gland for the secretion of thyroxine. Okay. So the thyroxine hormone levels are when they increase in the blood. Increased thyroxine hormone concentration will reach to the hypothalamus. Now hypothalamus will respond. Then hypothalamus now release a hormone called TSH-IH, that it is going to release a hormone called TSH-IH. The TSH-IH inhibiting hormone. So TSH-IH is going to travel through TSH-IH is going to travel through the capillaries of hypothalamus from here again. Let me show you. From the capillaries of hypothalamus through the blood vessel and through the capillaries, it stops the action of release of TSH from anterior pituitary. Then that stop the secretion here in the thyroid gland, stop the secretion of thyroxine. Imagine when thyroxine levels are dropped down, that information will go to the hypothalamus. That information again goes to the hypothalamus. That the information of the hypothalamus again, hypothalamus will be responded over, they release TSH, RH again. Then the TSH-RH from the hypothalamic neurons, the capillaries of hypothalamus, blood vessel, and to the capillaries of adenohypophysis, and stimulate the anterior pituitary. This total, what you are showing here, that is anterior pituitary. Stimulate the anterior pituitary for the secretion of TSH, and the TSH stimulate the thyroid gland for the secretion of thyroxine. This is a cyclic process actually. That maintenance of the balance of the thyroxine is possible by this particular action. Okay, so this particular action only we made in the form of visual. We made in the form of visual. So let me try that visual to you. Okay, so this is hypothalamus. This is hypothalamus. So a hypothalamic neuron is doing the release of that hormone. So I am making some capillaries here. That hypothalamic neurons release. Now we'll take GnRH. gonadotropin releasing hormone, released from the hypothalamus. So they all go to the capillaries, then vessel, then again capillarization. Where do you see the capillarization? The capillarization has done in adenohypophysis. Okay, so that through the capillaries, this GnRH is going to travel through the capillaries and released here and stimulate the anterior pituitary and adenohypophysis for the release of two hormones. What are they? GTH. GTH means two hormones we have, FSH and LH. Okay. So this is the stimulus secretion. We continue. FSH and LH, what they do, that when we say, when we move forward, that we can understand. So this is the scenario. This is the complete scenario. Okay. So then imagine if levels of FSH and LH need to be decreased, that information will go to the hypothalamus and they start secrete GnIH. Then the GnIH will travel through the capillaries of the hypothalamus, blood vessel, and capillaries of adenohypophysis, and that stop the secretion of GTH inhibition. Okay, so this is the mechanism that during the relation between hypothalamus and adenohypophysis. Then when it comes to the relation between the hypothalamus and neurohypophysis, so the relation with hypothalamus with neurohypophysis, this is hypothalamus. Neurohypophysis of the pituitary gland. What is the relation? Here, simply what you can say, that neurons of the hypothalamus, the cytons will start there, but axon will travel along the length. So that what do you say? This is the travel. The diagram we have shown only one, but there are so many. So what do you say? This is the track, bundle of nerve fiber. Bundle of nerve fiber present between the hypothalamus and hypophysis. Hypophysis nothing but pituitary gland. Which hypophysis? Neurohypophysis. That's why we named like this. The road between Hyderabad and Vijayawada will be named as Hyderabad Vijayawada Road. In the same way, the road between the hypothalamus and hypophyseal is going to be named as hypothalamus, hypothalamo, hypophyseal tract. So now what you are saying, the oxytocin and vasopressin released from the hypothalamic neurons, which are released from the hypothalamic neurons, will travel along the length that through what, that is very important, through hypothalamo hypophyseal tract will be released in the neurohypophysis. There is no blood here, you see. Directly neuron is coming and secreting this. So that oxytocin and vasopressin is going to be stored in the neurohypophysis. So this is the story of hypothalamus with anterior pituitary and hypothalamus with anterior pituitary is by releasing and inhibiting hormone. Then hypothalamus with posterior pituitary, neurohypophysis, is by like this, hypothalamo-hypophyseal tract. Okay, so this is the mechanism, the relation between the hypothalamus with hypothalamus of the brain, diencephalon, ventral diencephalon we call hypothalamus, and pituitary gland. Okay, so this is the story.